Hello students and welcome to the lecture. So students, as we know that we are discussing upon the National Commission to review the working of the Constitution, right? This is the topic on which we are discussing right now. And basically within this particular topic of National Commission to review the working of the Constitution, these all are the topics we had scheduled for the discussion. Like starting with the introduction part, terms of reference of the Commission, 50 years of working of the Constitution, areas of concern, Commission's perception, recommendations of the Commission, and the earlier efforts to review the Constitution. Okay, these all are the topics that we had scheduled for the discussion. If we talk about the topics that we have covered so far, so basically we have done with the introduction part. We have done with the terms of reference of the Commission. The topic on which we are discussing right now, that is the 50 years of the working of the Constitution. And the topic that we are left with is the areas of concern, Commission's perception, recommendations of the Commission, and the earlier efforts to review the Constitution. Okay, so this is the picture that we have created so far altogether. So basically we will start from where we had left in the previous one. Okay, in the previous one we had seen several areas where the working of the Constitution in the 50 years in reference to the year of 2000 was taken up by the National Commission, and the Commission has also proposed the progress and the failures that we have achieved in this area so far. So now we will continue further out of this. Okay, so after seeing the economical achievements, now we are going to talk about the economic failures. The richest top quintile of the population has 85% of the income. Okay, it means that the rich layer of the country, okay, that is in the small portion, they are still holding the 85% of the income generated in the country every year. And the poorest quintile, which is in the large section, has only 1.5% of the country's income. Got it? The second, third, and the fourth quintile from top have respectively 8%, 3.5%, and 2% of the income. It means that upper middle class, and lower middle class, they are only having the 8%, 3.5%, and the 2%, while the poorest section is having the 1.5%. And the remaining, the massive amount is for the 85% that is only holding by the richest top quintile. Got it? 260 million people live below the poverty line. Now you can say 260 million is the huge number within itself. Got it? After the social achievements, now if we will look at the social failures, India's maternal mortality rate in 1998 was 407 per 1 lakh live births. These levels are more than 100 times the level found in the West. It means that in comparison with the Western democracies, the performance of the Indian democracy was worst in the terms of maternal mortality rate. Thereafter, some 53% children, almost 60 million, under 5 remain malnourished, nearly twice the level reported in the many parts of sub-Saharan Africa. Okay, it means that if we look at the sub-Saharan African countries that are also regarded as a poor country in the world, even in comparison with these countries, the performance of India was worst. In case of children who are under the age of 5, the population is 60 million. Okay, which means a huge population is malnourished. Okay, and that is nearly twice in comparison with the sub-Saharan countries. Thereafter, the proportion of the low birth weight babies born in India is 33%. It is only 9% in China and South Korea, 6% in Thailand, and 8% in Indonesia. Thereafter, India was a signatory to the Alma Ata Declaration that was signed in the 1978 that assured health for all by the year 2000. Okay, it means that in the 1978, the India had entered in the you can say the agreement that is known as the Alma Ata Declaration, in which the India was the part of the promise that we had made that the health facilities would be restored for everyone till the year of 2000. But what actually happened on ground? Only 42% of the children between the age group of 12 to 23 months are fully immunized, and that 37% in the rural areas and 61% in the urban areas, which means the coverage is too low. And shockingly, in Bihar, only the 11% and Rajasthan in the 17%. It means the Bihar and Rajasthan were the worst performing states. Okay. While per capita daily consumption of the cereals have improved only marginally from 400 grams in 1950 to 440 grams in 2000, the per capita pulses protein intake have over the 50 years decreased, which means the dietary complication of the Indians have been on brink or shrink. The promise of the social revolution has remained unredeemed. There are 270 million scheduled castes and the scheduled tribes, and the measures for their welfare and the uplift have not been implemented with sincerity. There are 380 million children below the age of 14. Almost 100 million of them are Dalit children, which means no effective steps have been taken to bring them the level of core mainstreams, and these are the part of the backward and the depressed classes. Thereafter, the population control measures in the northern states have not succeeded, which means the fertility rates in the Uttar Pradesh indicate the state is almost a century behind the Kerala. Okay. Thereafter, what were the administrative failures we have seen over? Corruption, insensitivity, and the inefficiency of the administration have resulted in the failures like the extra legal systems and the parallel economy and even the parallel governments. Bureaucratic corruptions, which causes the frustration in the people in their daily lives, have pushed more and more people into the extra legal system. It means that basically the legal system that has been established as per the provisions of the constitution, these systems have been bypassed by the people, and the people has moved to the illegal or the extra legal systems for their needs. Why? Because the bureaucratic structure of the country was that much of corrupted that the people got frustrated and had no hope left with them. The maladministration has resulted in the lack of faith in and disenchantment with the institutions of the democracy. There is an increasing non-accountability. Corruption has been pervasive and the public interest has suffered. After this, constitutional protection for the services under the Article 311 has largely been exploited by the dishonest officials to protect themselves from the consequences of their wrongdoings. Basically, the Article 311 provides the constitutional safeguards to the public officers. Okay, but the commission report that this article was exploited and basically used by the dishonest public officials so that they could protect themselves against the consequences which they had attracted just because of wrongdoings. After this, the gender justice and the equality failures. The regional disparities in the life expectancy is indicated by the fact that a woman born in Kerala can expect to live 18 years longer than the woman in the Madhya Pradesh. It means that the health infrastructure was grow in parallel. Okay. In most countries, like life expectancy among women exceed that of men by about 5 years. Okay. In all but a few countries of the world, they are typically 105 women for every 1,000 men. Men outnumber women only in society where women are specially and systematically discriminated. In India, there are only 933 women for every 1,000 men. This is the phenomenon about missing women, which means that the woman percentage in the country is below, which means the gender equality was not that much of succeeded. Thereafter, overall representation of women in the public services is just 4.9%. The political participation of women indicates in 1952, there were only the 22 women in the Lok Sabha against the 499 seats. It means the representation of women in the Lok Sabha was only 4.41%. In 1991, this increased to the 49 seats as against 544 seats, which means 9.02%. Between 1985 to 2000, out of 503 judges of the High Court, only the 15 judges were the women. Thereafter, the judicial system failures. Judicial system has not been able to meet even the modest expectations of the society. Delays and costs are frustrating. Its process is slow and uncertain. Which means that the people losing the faith in the judicial system that has been established by the Constitution of India. And by these failures, they are basically pushing and seeking the resource to the extra legal methods to get the relief. Okay. Thereafter, the trial system both on the civil and the criminal side has utterly broken down. Okay. It means that the jurisdiction that has been taken out by the judiciary was inappropriate and even was not that much of acceptable by the society that was desirable. On an overall assessment, there are more failures than the success stories, making the inference inescapable that the 50 years of the working of the Constitution is substantially a saga of missed opportunities. It means whatsoever we achieved in the 15 years of the implementation of the Constitution, out of these, the failures are much more in comparison with the success stories we have gained, which means we have missed the more opportunities in comparison of gaining the opportunities. Got it? Now we are going to talk about the areas of concerns and the Commission's perception. The following are the important areas of concern according to the perception of the Commission. It means that when the Commission was constituted, the Commission was found out some important areas that should be concerned about. Okay. And what are these areas? Let's see them one by one. Got it? There is a fundamental breach of the Constitution faith on the part of the governments. Okay. And their method of governance lies in the neglection of the people who are ultimate source of the political authority. So what we can say overall, that basically from the constitutional faith point of view, basically there is a found of fundamental breach on the part of the government. Okay. And the method for governing the people the government had employed, that was basically on the part of neglecting the people and the people are considered as the ultimate source of the political authority by the constitution, also mentioned in the preamble, like we the people of India. Why? Because India is, as we know, is a democratic country, right? And in any democratic country, the main thing is that whosoever would be the part of the government, that would be elected by the people, directly or indirectly. Okay, so because we, the people of India, are the one who are giving them the chance to make a government, and they are making the government for us. So basically, neglecting of the people is the main, you can say, area for concern. Why? Because the people who are the political authority, ultimate political source of authority as per the constitution, these are suffering just because of the methods employed by the government are more and more inclining towards the negligence of the people. Okay. Thereafter, the public servants and the public institutions. Public servants and the public institutions are not alive to the basic imperative. Okay. Why? What is the basic imperative? That these are appointed to serve the people, not to control the people, govern the people as per their discretionary. The dignity of the individual that was enshrined in the constitution, that has also remained as an unredeemed pledge. It means that the Constitution of India gave more and more emphasis on the one thing, that is what we call as an dignity of an individual. Okay. And even this dignity of the individual, that is the, you can say, the main thing of the Constitution, the main aim of the Constitution provisions, that is also remained the unredeemed pledge. It is a serious area of concern. There is thus a loss of faith in the governments and the governance. That is the reason why the people is not showing the faith in the government that they had elected even. And the governance method the government is, you can say, acquiring. Citizens see the governments besieged by uncontrollable events and losing faith in the institution. Society unable to cope up with the current events of the government and the country because the methods are totally adversible for the people's point of view. The foremost area of concern is the present nature of the Indian states. And its inability to anticipate and provide for the great global forces of change, which is ushered in the pace of scientific and technological developments. Got it? The next and equally important dimension in the increasing cost of government and the fiscal deficit, which are large. Okay, increasing cost of government means that the money the government spend for their functioning, and the fiscal deficit. Fiscal policy stands out for the government expenditure and the governing government revenue. Okay, so basically what the commission has found, the cost the government is spending and bearing is increasing rapidly, but the revenue on the other hand is not. Okay, what does it mean? It means that the government, which is using the people's money that has been collected from the tax and the indirect tax sources, that money is spending more and more. But to spend back on the people, it means the government revenue that is not as per the requirements. Okay, so we can say in 1947, there was a deficit of 2 crores in the revenue budget. It means that the government has spent 2 crores more and received 2 crores less. 1997 to 1998, that has become 88,937 crores. Now you could imagine it is even in the 1,000 times more, right? Which means now in the 1997, in the 1998, the government has spent 88,937 crores more from the people's money and received less revenue in comparison with the same. Even if you move further, in 2001 to 2002, about 1,16,000 crores. 1,06,000 crores, that was the 4.8% of the GDP. That was the fiscal deficit. So now you can say since 1950 till 2000, when the commission was set up, the government revenue was on the serious decline in comparison with the government expenditure. It means the India is on its way to the debt trap. Okay? Because when the government is getting less and the government has to invest more, it means the government could not pressurize the people more and more. Okay? So from how, and you can say how the government and from where the government will gather these resources, the fiscal resources, that the government will borrow it from the outer countries, outer institutions. Okay? It means the government will be in the debt trap. Thereafter, there is pervasive impurity of the political climate and of political activity. It means that the politics is full of criminals, which means there is a criminalizations of the politics. Political corruption and the politician criminal bureaucratic nexus. Politician criminal and the bureaucratic nexus that has reached unprecedented levels, needing strong systematic changes. It means whatsoever conditions in the politician criminal bureaucratic nexus we had in the 1950, these conditions have grown even worse in the 2000. That basically the commission said there is a need, urgent need for the strong systematic changes that to be made. Thereafter, issues of national integrity and security have not received the adequate and the thoughtful attention it requires. Mechanism for the assessment of the early warning symptoms of the social unrest are absent. Okay, it means that if there is any possibility that in the nearby future the social unrest could be caused, so the tracking down of the causes and curing them so that we could avoid the social unrest, these things were not applicable and not available. Thereafter, mechanism for the adequate and the immediate state responses to the emergency situations, the disaster and the management are fully inadequate. It means that the government could be activate towards the emergency and the disaster management when these things could cause a huge damage. Administration as a system for the anticipating coming events and the plan responses in advance has failed. It means that we were not able to perceive that something could be happen till the thing happens. Okay? It means the progress and the preparations that we could make to prevent the thing and give response to the thing effectively, these all were absent. It has become uncoordinated and directionless amalgam of different departments, often with overlapping and even mutually conflicted jurisdictions, powers and responsibilities. Because of this, the government merely acts as a reaction to the problems. Why? Because multiple departments were working and sometimes these departments having the natural conflict and the intentional conflict amongst them. So because of these conflicts, the situation could not be handled as that should be handled. Thereafter, there is no clear-cut standards or basis for that we could fixing the responsibilities of the government and its departments towards some particular cause, so that even if they are not doing their duty, even if they are failing on their duty, we could not challenge them because we do not have any mechanism and the things to deal with this thing. Okay. Thereafter, though India's overall record and experience as a working democracy, despite many centrifugal forces, are worthy to mention, and though the basis of democratic debate have widened with the 73rd and the 74th constitutional amendments. Okay. Working of the institutions of the parliamentary democracy, however, have thrown up serious fault lines, which might, if unattended, prove destructive of the basic democratic values. Which means, however, 73rd and the 74th Constitutional Amendment Acts that provided for the local government and the, you can say, for the strongment of the parliamentary democracy and the local government and all, these have supported. But basically, we have seen the serious fault lines that, if not attended properly, that could be destructive for the basic democratic values. Okay. There is pervasive misuse of the electoral process, and the electoral system is unable to prevent the entry of persons with the criminal record into the portal of law-making institutions. Okay. It means that the electoral process that we have, that could be misused, and the electoral system that we have is not that much of capable so that it could prevent the entry of any person that is having the criminal record. So it means that the criminal record person could easily enter to the portal of the law-making institutions of the legislature, which is workable under the government. Okay. And these could harm the, you can say, the provisions of the constitution. And the parliament and the state legislature, owing to the inherent weakness of the electoral system, failed to acquire adequate representative character. The 13th Lok Sabha represents only 27% of the total electorate, and the legislature of UP represent only 22% of the electoral respectively. Okay, so these were the things. So students, basically in this lecture we have covered till here. In the next lecture we will continue from here. Till then, just you are required to revise all the things we have discussed in this lecture and keep yourself ready for the next lecture. With this note, let's end this lecture, and what we say thank you.